learners. So we are discussing about investment disputes and the plea of necessity. So in the earlier videos, we discussed about the factual circumstances which led Argentina to adopt certain measures and how it was challenged by the investors. And in the last video, we discussed one case, CMS versus Argentina. And in this case, in this video, we will be looking at another case, LG and E versus Argentina. Again, LG and E filed a case with regard to the measures that Argentina had taken during the economic crisis, and LG&E wanted compensation from Argentina. So here also Argentina invoked the plea of necessity both under Article 11 of the BIT, US Argentina BIT, as well as under the customary international law. So the tribunal essentially had to look at whether the plea of necessity can be invoked here, and particularly the tribunal had to interpret Article 11 of the BIT. So while interpreting Article 11 of the BIT, we could see the tribunal formulated two questions: whether a situation did it exist in Argentina? The points that are mentioned in under Article 11 are 3 points were mentioned. One is with regard to maintenance of public order, then to Argentina to fulfill its obligation with regard to maintaining international peace and security, and third was to protect its essential national security, right? So these 3 points are mentioned, and for the circumstance of this case, first and third point are relevant. So therefore the tribunal looked at whether any of the circumstances mentioned there was present in Argentina, and then what are the measures that it had implemented in order to, can that be precluded, the wrongfulness of that measure can be precluded. So it formulated two questions in the context of Article 11 of the BIT. But here also both LG and E and Argentina differed with regard to the self-judging nature of Article 11. So Argentina was contending that it's a self-judging nature, and LG and E were saying that no, there is no it's not a self-judging nature, and the tribunal will have to look at this particular question. So the tribunal looked at the practice of US of signing the BITs, and the tribunal noted that post Russia US BIT, we can see that the self-judging nature of the provision has been explicitly carried out, and therefore by relying on that, it stated that since the language of the BIT, the language of the provision in the BIT does not use the self-judging a clause in the text, so it stated that the tribunal concluded that Article 11 of the BIT is not self-judging. So one was with regard to that. Secondly, LG&E also stated that this had to be done for either for public order or for protecting essential security interests, and that was not the case. Argentina stated that it had taken the measures only for public, protecting public order as well as for protecting its essential security interest. So there also LG&E and Argentina was different. So in that context, we can see a very interesting argument made by LG&E. LG&E stated that any measure taken for protecting public order would mean that a state taking a measure by exercising its police power, and thereby LG&E contended that any measures taken by Argentina with respect to public health, safety or protecting the environment would be something that would be considered as a measure taken for protection of public order. I want to take a pause here, and I want to mention that I'm going away from the facts of the case. I very carefully look at what the claimant was contending in this case. The claimant is saying that as per non-precluded measure of the BIT, that is Article 11 of the BIT, any measure taken for the protection of public health, safety or protecting the environment is something that would be covered under the scope of the NPM measure. That is what the claimant is saying. What are we looking at in this course? We are looking at how to integrate environmental concerns in international investment law, right? So that way, even LG&E, the claimant himself, is sort of saying that environmental concerns is something that can be covered under NPM measure, right? So, but on the facts of the case, since Argentina had not taken a measure with regard to environment, so there the contest was this. So probably if in future, if any country wants to invoke NPM clause for justifying its regulatory measure taken for the protection of environment, they could probably refer to LG&E, an investor's argument before an arbitral tribunal itself. Okay. So now going back to the facts of the case, so LG&E's contention was public order measures would mean either the measures taken in the exercise of police power, either it would be public health, safety or environment and all of these. So there the contest was going on with regard to this, but in any case LG&E also argued that because of Article 27 of Articles on State Responsibility, Argentina's obligation has not exhausted. Right, so okay, so it had taken some measures and all of that, and that measures continues till now. So that is anyway in violation of Article 27 of Articles of State Responsibility. This is what LG&E was contending. So in any case, the tribunal had to decide the period of the state of necessity. The tribunal looked at the timeline and it stated that even though the emergency law was enacted in 2002, the tribunal concluded that, or it put a starting point as 1st December 2001 itself, and it stated that the situation of emergency is something that had already started by December 2001 itself. Right, so therefore it put the starting date as that, and the tribunal decided the ending date of the state of necessity to be 26th April 2003. The reason why it chose 26 April 2003 as the end date was that is when President Kirchner got elected, and as per tribunal's understanding, the set of an emergency, the state of the emergency situation sort of was mitigated with the election and all of that. So the tribunal identified the start date, the tribunal identified the end date, and it said that between this period there could be a state of emergency. On the perusal of the facts of the case, the tribunal also concluded that there was very severe economic crisis that was going on. It threatened the economic and political survival and the existence of the country itself. The public services were disrupted, and therefore Argentina had to take some measures in order to mitigate the harmful effect of these kind of situation. So the tribunal agreed that the state of necessity existed and all of that. But as per the tribunal, what it stated was the state of necessity existed only from 1st December 2001 to 26 April 2003, and therefore whatever had happened between those particular that particular time period, the responsibility cannot be put on Argentina because of Article 11 of the BIT. So this is how the tribunal took a decision that Article 11 can be successfully invoked for the time period itself, and the tribunal merely stated that Argentina's obligation towards investor that still continues from 27th April 2003 onwards. So the decision, the final decision in this case was the Argentina had to pay compensation from 27 April 2003 onwards. This is how it had decided this particular case. So this case we could see that the claimant LG&E was successful in invoking Article 11 of the BIT as well. So we'll conclude this case. In the next video, we will look at Enron versus Argentina and how did Enron Tribunal look at the issue of invoking plea of necessity. Thank you.